Ladies and gentlemen, I hate that I am making this video, and it pisses me off to no end, because the gaming industry as we know it is dead, and Sony killed it. I mean, they were already killing themselves with failure after failure after failure. Sony announced yesterday that they will no longer be producing discs with their games starting in January of 2028. And I cannot help but be very, very pissed off because of it. As you guys know, if you have paid attention to this channel over the years, I have a pretty extensive game collection. Now, it may not be as impressive as somebody like Happy Console Gamer or Metal Jesus Rocks or anybody like that. But for somebody like me, it is a pretty sizable collection that has 90% of the games that I grew up with. And y'all have seen it. You see me hold the cases, in some of the cases, pull out the disc and show you. And Sony going this direction. We already knew that Sony was going to go in some stupid direction. It had to be them, because look at how they have acted since the PlayStation 5. They have gone from being top of the game with the PS4, and they're right back to being about halfway through this generation. They've gone back to being arrogant, like they were in the PS3 generation. And I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Sony, you have messed up. Right after I turned around yesterday and said you guys were doing pretty good. This is very, very disappointing, and it shows a dark, dark direction that the game industry as a whole is going. However, the game industry was already gonna die. We already knew this. The game industry was dying because they were catering to people who don't even play video games. And yet here comes Sony in with the kick to the nuts, being like, hey, we know the game industry was already dying. You want to see me ruin it more? And they literally have no discs. It's a convenience factor, though. Who cares? It's not practical. There's nothing practical about this. The PlayStation Store is a monopoly because of that. The Xbox Store will be a monopoly because of that. Because you don't have any separate stores on Xbox, on PlayStation, or on Nintendo. If all three of them were to go digital, they would have monopolies, because the other stores are not allowed to run on those consoles. And that is where the idiots that claim Steam is a monopoly are the problem. Because you have a choice on PC. You can choose Epic, you can choose Steam, you can choose EA, you can choose Ubisoft, you can choose Battle.net, you can choose any of them. You can even choose Microsoft Store, but you can't do that on console. And Sony, with their decision, have made a precedent that will impact the industry as we know it. So, for those of us who are physical game collectors, or just people that enjoy having a disc drive, we are being phased out. And it sucks. There's no joy of opening up a video game for Christmas from 2028 and onwards. You don't get that luxury unless you are collecting retro games. That's your only chance at that point. And the fact that that is even a thing that we're talking about is ridiculous. We should not be having to worry about this. The fact that they would rather save a few pennies compared to console costs is ridiculous, because not only do they have a monopoly, but just as we've seen with Sony, you can lose your access like that. And we're supposed to just lay down and take it raw. Thankfully, people are not doing that. They're fighting back. So many people have canceled their PlayStation Plus, and I don't blame them. It's too late for me to completely cancel it because I've already paid my $27 for the 3 months. $27, by the way. Ridiculous. It was $25 at one point, and then they upped it. But the industry is dying. It already was, but this is the final nail in the coffin. A lot of people are blaming GTA 6 for this. Nope, it's not GTA 6's fault as much as I want to blame that game for it. The industry was already headed in this direction, sadly, because of all the convenience. Oh, what's the convenience? Those idiots. Because of those idiots. They're the ones that have caused this problem. Because I'm sorry, your convenience is not worth taking away my fun, because I enjoy buying games physically. It's the best way to do it, because I actually own the game. I mean, I own the data on the disc, but I own the disc, I own the case. For me, once the servers go down, that's all that matters to me, that it's on the shelf. So I'm sorry. This is all on you, Sony. You messed up. And hopefully you will get screwed by this, because you already have several class action lawsuits, or just lawsuits in general, on the PlayStation Store being a monopoly. So with your announcement of this, hopefully you have dug your own grave, because PlayStation as a brand either needs to go back to being in Japan, or it just needs to die. I don't care which. I would prefer them go back to Japan, because at least Japan knows what they're doing. The West has no clue what they're doing. They never have known what they were doing. So that's all I got to say about this. Sony, you just messed up royally, and I hope that you pay for it.